Hello everyone, tonight on Business Live we'll tell you how close to 1,000 workers have lost their jobs as 90% of large-scale soybean processing factories have shut down.
My name is Suleiman. I was employed here on 16th November 2020. During that time, or that era, there was a lot of materials or raw materials.
There's more in the second part of Prince Pierre's documentary, The Broken Chain. Also, Cocoa Board to liaise with security agencies to protect cocoa farms devastated by illegal mining.
So to engage further the security agencies, the law enforcement agencies, and of course, the judiciary to ensure that people who engage in this illegal activity, when they are presented before the court, punitive measures or sanctions are meted out to them.
And government are worried about low tax revenue from windfall of petroleum exports. We'll hear from Deputy Finance Minister Dr. John Kuma.
We actually imported $2.7 billion. So if you look at it, you think Ghana is a net exporter. But our component out of the $3.9 billion was $500 million.
My name is Daryl Kwawu. Thanks for being with us. Details in a moment. First off, almost 90% of large-scale soybean processing factories in Ghana have shut down because they are not getting enough to process. Close to 1,000 workers of these factories have been laid off as a result. Now, most of the soybeans produced are exported, and Prince Pierre has been investigating and assessing the impact of this in the second part of the Hotline documentary titled The Broken Chain. Here's a bit of it.
This is the finishing section of the Vesta Oil Mills factory. A few weeks ago, this place, that area was filled with some products getting ready for the market. Today, the place is empty. Because of unavailability of raw materials, the factory has been shut down.
My name is Suleiman. I was employed here on 16th November 2020. During that time, or that era, there was a lot of materials or raw materials where we used to produce to feed the factory. By then, we worked till 30th January 2021, and we was asked to go home because we don't have raw materials to feed the factory. And our work, if you come to whether they will pay you. If you don't come to it, they will not pay you. So because of that, workers are staying at home complaining. We have about 200 workers here, and all of us, we are asked to stay at home because of lack of the raw materials or shortage of raw materials.
The Golden Ware Processing Factory is located at Atonsu near Kumasi. This factory has been processing soya bean for the past 15 years, but was producing only 10% of its capacity from the beginning of the year. The company has shut down when we went to meet the CEO, Thomas Wabi Bello.
You came to my factory. It's been closed down because we don't have raw materials. Those who were supplying me, like I told you, we're even developing our own value chain whereby we take supplies. I'm giving about, sometimes even 1 week I pay. But now it's no more coming. I've produced less than 10% of my capacity this year. My workers are now just about maybe under 10. I don't even have them as permanent workers because if I do that, I cannot pay them. Right now, I don't have workers. All I have is my security, but the workers are on their own when I need them. Now, I'm lucky employment. If somebody, some of them have been employed by other people.
This factory has the capacity of accommodating about 10,000 tons of raw materials for the factory here. But because of unavailability of raw materials, it is now empty. And as it stands now, it has begun gathering dust and cobwebs. The processing industry also consists of small-scale factories. One of such is Emmanuel Kwabnajisi's factory. He has also been in the processing business for more than 15 years.
Na me produce 900 bags a month. Say make me nyan no makura be 250.
His factory is also near empty. Because his demand is not as huge as the large-scale factories, he has managed to hold up demand till now.
Week bia na me produce we no 320 bags a week. I'm a chairman of customers and okura na enso I just say no nyina hawa say me customers minya bi ma wanya no how.
Ejayao explains until supply comes, he will keep disappointing customers.
Binum free Dunkwawu ebeton no man no ha ebi free oboase ebepe obi free ekonongo eba anse no kumase afo no anu so a ewo ha no so eso epebi enti enam za de no di no Dunkwafo no frɛ ne sɛ wo anya bia wo so wo mu ni ba bia wo mu kwakwa akonya bia no ye hawa haye pa.
And the food documentary, The Booking Chain, airs tonight on Hotline at 8:30. Don't miss it. Cocoa Board says it will liaise with the National Security Joint Police and Military Task Force against illegal mining to protect cocoa farms being devastated by illegal mining activities. This comes as research by the cocoa regulator reveals about 80% of selected farms were destroyed between 2019 and 2020 by illegal mining activities. Head of Public Affairs at Cocoa Board, Fifi Boafo, spoke earlier on the marketplace.
And there was the need for us as state institutions, as partners, work together in addressing the issue. One of the things the Minerals Commission indicated at the meeting was that Cocoa Board should provide data. Of course, you are aware of the cocoa management system where we are taking geographical locations of all cocoa farms. So we make them available to the Minerals Commission, and in giving out licenses to people who go into small-scale mining, cocoa farms are not given out as places for mining. Also, to engage further the security agencies, the law enforcement agencies, and of course, the judiciary to ensure that people who engage in this illegal activity, when they are presented before the court, punitive measures or sanctions are meted out to them, and then swiftly to discourage people who feel that, well, they have every right to destroy cocoa farms and then nothing really will happen to them. The collaboration, we believe that we'll be able to yield some result, but it requires more than that. One of the suggestions at the meeting was to also engage other institutions like the Forestry Commission, like the Environmental Protection Agencies, and all those who have some, in one way or the other, some activity to do with regards to ensuring that we deal.
Now, government is worried about the low tax revenue from the windfall of exports of petroleum products. The country is expected to earn some tax revenue from the high price of crude oil selling above $100 a barrel. A Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. John Kumah, says earnings from the windfall of crude oil exports is woefully inadequate to balance the import of the commodity. He told Joy Business, although the country is earning some revenue, it will position itself to generate more in the coming years.
After over 10 years of oil discovery in Ghana, many have projected that this is the best time for the country to earn some extra income on its crude production due to the ongoing conflict in Europe, which has caused a rise in the prices. The development is due to the benchmark of $61 per barrel set by the Minister for Finance in the 2022 budget, which could earn the country some windfall whenever the price is above the benchmark level. However, the country is unable to make any meaningful income from the rise in the crude price due to its import levels. Here is Deputy Minister for Finance, John Kumah, expressing a concern on why the country couldn't earn much revenue from the situation.
Yes, obviously, but at the same time, you are also losing on your import side. Remember that last year, Ghana did about $3.7 billion of oil. But we actually imported $2.7 billion. So if you look at it, you think Ghana is a net exporter. But our component out of the $3.9 billion was $500 million. So if you are going to import $2.7 billion, then you know that you may have windfall in your 500, but you're losing so much in your imports. So that's the reality of the Ghana situation.
He, however, suggested that efforts by government to get the situation fixed, including getting the Tema oil refinery back on track, will yield some result.
TOR remains one of the strategic institutions of government, and will continue not just to revive TOR, but to see how we can even, through the private sector, add on more refinery in the country.
They're still making losses and we are still paying for it.
No, I think that it's one of the institutions of government that we are seeking to restructure and repositioning to do better.
Meanwhile, the price of crude oil is still trading above $100 globally.
Deputy Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Amapuma Boateng, has re-emphasized that government is keen on investing in the safety of the country's cyberspace. This, she believes, will help attract businesses into the country and support economic growth. The Deputy Minister gave the assurance at an open day event for beneficiaries of the Girls in ICT initiative. Here is a report.
And safety, the initiative is aimed at encouraging girls to opt for careers within the information and communication technology space. Girls in ICT Open Day is a week-long program which will see 100 females touring mobile network operators, ICT firms, and interact with women in the workspace. Ama Poma said cyber attacks have serious implications on citizens, especially female users, and the ministry is committed to address the threat.
So many bad things are going on that most of us are not paying attention to. Meanwhile, we have the law in place. So we are promoting it. We've been to some secondary schools in most of the regions. So on our part as a ministry, the Cybersecurity Authority is doing its bit. The non-profits or the civil societies also are promoting it. We as a ministry we started with the girls' high schools because we realized that the girls in the high schools are most often the ones that easily get attacked. We have a 292 number for cybersecurity for parents or guardians or brothers or sisters, any concerned person, to call that number and report of these incidents. Our focus has been on the mobile money fraud and all of that going on, but this is also an aspect that attention has to be given to.
Chief Executive Officer for the Kofi Annan Center of Excellence, Collins Yabua, pledged his outfit commitment to support the girls with free training and job opportunities in the future.
We will be happy to work with the leadership of MOCD for some of you girls to take part in our courses for free. And also for those who can, to intern and work here during your vacations in the not too distant future. So let me now take some time to congratulate the young ladies who are here. To be here means that you put in effort and your hard work has been recognized. Well done, and keep up the effort.
Some beneficiaries also spoke to Joy Business.
This ICT program has had a lot of impacts in our lives, especially we girls. We never knew that cartoons and all those things were coded, but with this program, we now know. This program has also helped us boost our confidence that we can also be part of the digitalization field.
Now, at first I don't know ICT at all, but now I can go to internet, how to Google something. If you want to type a question, now I'm good in typing, I can type fast, and I'm good in ICT too. Scratch desktop like this, I can make a toy work and then talk.
Girls in ICT is an initiative of the International Telecommunications Union supported by the Ministry for Communications and Digitalization.
Financial analyst Joe Jackson has criticized government for failing to sustain initiatives meant to fight unemployment among the youth. According to him, monies meant for the Youth Start initiative should be channeled through the private sector for disbursement to ensure transparency and efficiency. He further explained that government's involvement in such initiatives lacks proper monitoring. He was speaking at an entrepreneurship forum at the University of Ghana.
The Entrepreneurship Forum is to equip young people in developing creative ideas to aid in the fight against the canker of unemployment in the country. According to Mr. Jackson, government should involve the private sector in ensuring the sustainability of the various initiatives meant to create jobs.
We are all in agreement that there are not enough jobs and that this economy is not creating enough jobs. Every time I hear the government is trying to create jobs directly in itself, I get a sinking feeling in my stomach that this is going to be another program where the government will disburse money. The money will most likely go into different pockets, and a couple of years after the program, there is absolutely nothing to show for it. In my opinion, if it's SMEs, micro businesses that are going to be really the ones creating jobs, then that money should go to them. And it should come through the private sector. And the government should find credible financial institutions that are already established to disburse the money. Not another state program where people take the money and think it's part of the government's largesse and don't want to pay back. So you start, if you want to make it sustainable, right? Keep the government out of it.
According to the International Labour Organization, Ghana was faced with a 12% youth unemployment and more than 50% underemployment rate.
Chairperson of Agribusiness at the Association of Ghana Industries, Fatima Ali Mohammed, has reiterated the need to engage the youth in agribusiness. According to her, young people have the potential to develop ideas that are agri-based to propel the development of the sector. She spoke to the media at the Ghana Agriculture and Agro-Processing Awards.
The Ghana Agriculture and Agro-Processing Awards brought together players in the agriculture sector and recognized their achievement from local and international companies. According to AGI's chairperson of agribusiness, Fatima Ali Mohammed, the sustainability of the sector depends on investing into the youth to develop innovative ideas to support the sector.
And the youth are hustlers because they're fed up of seeing what their parents have gone through, what their grandparents have gone through, and they don't want to remain poor forever. And that's the reason a youth is able to put their hand in 5 different projects. Even if one fails, he's got another 4. If 4 fail, he's going to try something else. So we need to use what the youth think about. They are great at technology. They're great in terms of creating apps, solutions, financial banking. Right now, banks are no longer relevant. If you look at the financial apps, the youth, I know one guy who I'm mentoring and is moving $9 million. $9 million. He's a Nigerian partnered with a Ghanaian, and they're moving $9 million in an app of just doing cross-border transaction. So if we can start getting the youth to think of solutions that are agri-based and put in awards, put in incentives, let the government come and say that we're going to be giving prizes for this kind of amount or whatever, it will give them a reason, because projects start with $20,000, $50,000. I mean, that's not big money. You just come in and say, we're willing to invest in your opportunity, or get people to come in and say, we'll come together as businesses, invest in them, and let the youth do it, because the youth are the future.
Some winners for the night were elated and called for more investment in the agricultural sector.
Farmers make a lot of difference. If you are sufficient and self-sufficient in the food, I think every country will survive. And that is necessary for Africa, in my opinion. So I think the government should encourage and support, other than supporting importers.
Ghana Export Promotion Authority is very excited to receive the award yet again for the second time. We are happy because you have recognized the good work we are doing for the agri sector. If you look at the non-traditional export earnings, the agri sector is a very important sector for us, because it's a sector that employs a lot of women and youth and a lot of people in the country, thereby helping Ghana to reduce poverty amongst the youth and women.
The awards recognize the industry's merit and set a benchmark for excellence.
You're watching Business Live. We're taking a short break. We will be right back with some more stories. Stay with us. Welcome back to Business Live. The Ghana Bankers Association is calling for new measures to help reduce the unbanked population as well as increase savings for national development. It therefore wants the design of specific products to boost investments in the financial sector. So how are banks responding to this request by the Ghana Bankers Association? There is more in the following report.
With growing changes in consumer taste, stakeholders in the financial sector have advocated the creation of specific products to meet customer needs. Even though the Bank of Ghana has encouraged diversity in the banking sector to support the real sectors of the economy, the challenge is yet to be taken on. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of the Prominence Banking product by UMB, the Managing Director Nana Jumo Bene said the bank is responding to such challenges to meet specific customer demands.
Well, some of the new additions that you see here is that we've done some strategic partnerships with a few of the car companies. We have a few of the real estate companies. All these other ancillary benefits have come based on the feedback from our clients as to what other areas they would want us to sort of add, because we aim to do like a one-stop shop. So that's part of the features that have come, where the feedback is now informing how we add more and enhance the banking operations that they have. This is the first of many relaunches because we have various customers in various segments, and as we go and we speak to them and they give us their feedback for their specific needs, then we incorporate it in the propositions we offer to them and then relaunch it to them so that then they see that we're actually listening. It's a way of saying thank you for those who've banked with us for decades and years.
With existing banks currently meeting the new capital requirements, Nana Bene is hopeful banks will continue to churn out new products to satisfy specific areas of the economy, like UMB has done with the launch of the Prominence Banking product. The Prominence Banking will put high-income earners under categories that will enable them enjoy special services from the bank.
Railwood Properties Limited has launched its Night Bridge luxurious affordable housing project at Kwabena in Accra to enable middle to low income earners to purchase houses. The move is intended to narrow the housing deficit, which is estimated at about 2 million housing units. There is more in this report.
Speaking at the ground opening of the Night Bridge luxurious affordable housing at Kwabena in the Greater Accra region, the Chief Executive Officer of Rehoboth Properties Limited, Gideon Ayuku Akrofi, said housing has become a major challenge in this country and therefore its affordable housing project is to help income earners afford acquisition of houses. He said there is a payment plan for potential house owners.
Housing or access to a decent home has been a challenge even in developed countries. So Ghana is no exception. Social housing, because price will be very affordable for many Ghanaians. As an institution with private ownership, over the years, Rehoboth has been tirelessly working to propagate its mission to transform the built environment towards sustainability through the way of communities. Our plan, designed, constructed, operated, and maintained to its significant improvement of the health and quality of life of occupants of the present future generation through creating sustainability building and communities. We envisage as a company that in the near future, greeners will rank high on purchase and letting decisions of prospective property buyers.
Former Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Reverend Professor Aaron Mike Okwe urged Ghanaians to patronize Rehoboth Properties since it's of quality and affordable.
Throughout the developed world, this model of housing is the basis of the family. Our young people who have completed their education and have gained employment, whether in towns or cities, should be able to start life on their own without living in compound houses, which have unnecessary trappings. The system ensures affordability in 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, or 3 bedroom houses. You can own a 1 bedroom house to start life. Development, which I'm glad and proud to be part of and associated with, is a private effort, and Rehoboth has shown what a determined developer with a clear vision can do, backed by a board of directors which is clear in its vision, private investors who are efficient and honest and will not run away with people's money. And all the benefits of a gated community will apply. Facilities for shopping, day nursery, pharmacy, and games, etc. will be placed at your doorstep.
Tasha Michel's report for Joy Business.
Well, next up, your money tips on Money Lab.
Hi there, thank you for joining us on the Money Lab. What is portfolio risk? Portfolio risk is the possibility that a combination of assets within your investments will fail to meet your financial or investment objectives. Now, each investment within a portfolio carries its own risk, with higher potential return typically meaning higher risk and vice versa.
And that's our program tonight. There is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. The day's latest stories over there, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Kwawu. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time tomorrow.